Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Better Than Starting Manned. We are 25 minutes away from our burn point and we are sending count them, two Kerbals to the moon. So I've had some reassurances about the design of this ship and I think we're going to be okay based on everybody's assessment. So we're going to time warp around the planet a bit. Now, if my memory serves, it's about a 4-minute burn to the moon. So we're going to do our departure burn under that assumption. So we need to burn at about T-minus 2 minutes or so. Unfortunately, I don't have that information on hand because I have exited the game since that recording session. I unfortunately didn't have time to do the full lunar flight in one sitting. Life happens, you know how it is. So, yeah. Granted, I'm keeping myself awfully busy these days too, but don't worry. This is still one of my priority series, and I love this game. So, T-minus 2 minutes, okay. Let's see what we got here. Pardon me if I'm sniffling a little today. My nose is not happy. Alright, getting ready for the burn. And little tiny turn, and then SAS on and straight into the burn. 3 minutes and 8 seconds, so actually a little less than I'd originally estimated. So, but not so much that it's going to be a huge problem. We'll just make sure we stay on our mark. Now then, part 2 of this is going to be equalizing our orbit. Otherwise, we're going to have a heck of a time getting off this planet. So I need to readjust when I get to the ascending node. I need to do a very tiny little burn to make sure that I wind up in an equatorial lunar orbit to make docking less of a nightmare. Okay. Let's get my resources out. It's just one of those things where it's really pretty much unavoidable. I wonder if my... oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like the thrust vectoring on the Poodle will be able to do most of the stabilization for me. Alright, 2 minutes of the burn left and counting. So far so good. We better get our marker up here. I need to keep an eye on it in here because I didn't exactly depart on the original perfect planned moment. So we'll need to do some sort of last minute adjustment here. Okay. So far so good. Let's just hope we haven't used up too much of that fuel for this. It always makes me nervous, these the volumes of fuel consumed on departure compared with the amount of fuel it actually takes to get home is unnerving to say the least. So we're pretty much 100% dependent right now on the thrust vectoring of the Poodle, which seems to be doing the job quite nicely and handily. So we will just depend on that, and that will save us a huge amount of RCS for maneuvering and returning at a later time. Which is excellent news, because returning is good. We like to return. We even like to return on target and all that. So we're going to get there in 6 hours and 22 minutes with this burn, and it's going to drop us down to a pretty low periaps, which I suppose will make it a bit easier to get back up for docking, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I mean, low, at least we're not going to have to worry about bumping into the atmosphere for this one. Unlike trying to dock in orbit around Kerbal where you have to give yourself some maneuvering room. I suppose 100-kilometer orbits would be about ideal for the space station orbiting range. Makes good sense to me anyways. Alright, we are almost there. We're down to the last 20 seconds. Keep it on the mark. dropping the speed, just the burn speed just a little. I don't want to overshoot or anything. Come on, just keep it on the mark. Okay, getting ready to cut the engines here. 2, 1. Let's just keep bringing that down. 4. We'll just keep bringing it down as low as we can because it also reduces our travel time. 300, 200, 100. Lower, 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 lower. There. 15. Okay, good enough. Kill that. Set this as target. Plan my next burn. This burn is going to be, we need to reduce that ascending node. Let's see. We're going to need to drop it, I believe. Whoops. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Whoops. That was not what I intended to do. There it is. Switch to Munshot 1 Mark III. Good thing that things just keep happening, but boy, we don't have a lot of time to get this burn in place. Okay, let's see. We've got 6 minutes for this one. Give or take. There we go. Now then, let me just get out here. Let's try and change to a different conic. All right, let's just go down to the usual one here. And let's see. Let's see, I can't tell. It looks like this is the one we need. It's flattening it out quite nicely. Let's see if that's approximately equatorial right there. That's probably exactly where we want to be, isn't it? Maybe just a little more. Let's see, what's the, there we are, that's it right there. That'll be it right there. Okay. So a tiniest burn, the tiniest burn possible. In 5 minutes. This is going to be such a small one, it's not even funny. Oh, except that the timing is off kilter. Wait, maybe it's not. Oh, it was. It was exactly right. Whoops. There we are. Okay, good. Excellent. Coming around for very, very short burn. It's only 29 meters per second of burn, which is almost nothing. Okay. RCS off. The NAS thingamajobber should be able to do the trick. It's tucked in right there. Yeah, it's running. Okay, and we'll get to this mark, and then we will shut down some of the things that are costing us excess power. Okay. Show me your resources. Boy, that's used up a lot of liquid fuel already. I really hope I don't regret the long extra time I spent on that burn. Come on. Okay, slow down. Okay, we're going to burn right on the mark. Very, very light burn. Don't want to use too. We don't want to overshoot this one, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, going to be a 5-second burn at that speed. Okay, bring it down. Excellent. A little bit of normal correction here. 3, 2, 1, kill it. Good enough. For my purposes, that is just about right on the nose. Sending node, pff, who cares? So within a margin of insane error, it is fine. Alright, moon escape. Next thing will be the Lunar Periapsis for obvious reasons. Okay. Well, next up will be a very gentle tilt over to a more normal orientation, assuming I can get this thing so that we're back to our appropriate orientation for the return burn. Take care of that now, just in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong during the flight. Okay, there it is. There's the probe core. That's my backup command and control system. And this will get us back to our proper-ish orientation. And then we will progress with, we don't need the RCS, and we also don't need this anymore. That should save us a little bit of energy. And away we go. With a quick save here, just in case of emergency. I do believe I had a fairly robust pre-departure quick save, so I'll use that if things have gone horribly wrong. Weird. I don't recall there actually being rotation. Alright, well. Unset target. 3 hours to go. Lots and lots of life support. Yeah, plenty of life support. Not massive quantities, but plenty for our purposes. 1 hour to go. We don't want to mess up our numbers because we are... Whoa. What happened there? What happened there? Okay. Something right because I changed my conic setting. Whoa, crap. It's become a lunar encounter. Shite. Alright, we're going to reload because that's obviously a mathematical error that just occurred there. Rounding error. Dang it. Alright, let me see if we can fix the add maneuver. See, which one do we usually have it on? We usually have it on... Wait, it did wind up... Oh, no. Oh, no, I know what happened. When I did my orbital adjustment, darn it. Okay. Things have gone slightly wrong. Okay. There's your problem. We're gonna keep it nice and close. We don't want to waste too much energy on this. Let's see. That gives us a 12. Okay, good enough. Whoops. Minor error is minor. Let's just rotate it around. I almost could use the RCS for this little maneuver, but we'll refrain because I'm going to need potentially quite a bit of it for the redocking point on the flight, and this will take a minimal amount of fuel. You know, I didn't even think to make sure. Good enough. Okay. Get rid of that. Now that we are no longer in disaster territory, I probably should have been asking myself why there was not a periapsis there, but oh well. Lesson learned. Quick saved. Okay. Let's give it one more pulse. Actually, it is, well, it doesn't really matter where I am as long as I'm at an equatorial orientation. Close to pro or retro. RCS off, and that That should do. Okay, we're going to unset the target just to remove some data from our view. Excellent. Okay. All right. Now that that little error is out of our way, boy, I could afford not to do too many more mistakes on that of that caliber. That's for sure. Okay, well, apparently, what happened? The game is just being really weird today. There we go. Jeez. Man, I don't know. I must have set something wrong. I just hope... Yeah, that looks like a pretty clean equatorial orbit. So we need to create a node right there. No, we need to create a node. Come on. Let me create a maneuver. There we are. And we're going to pull a whole bunch out of that and make sure our periapse does not go too low. All right, so that is 24 and 12, 21 and 10, 22 and 9. No, we need to go a little tiny bit negative on that. 13 and 18, 17 and 12, 16 and 14, 14 and 17, 13 and 15, 14 and 14. Okay, there it is, right there. That's our maneuver. Hello, Moon. It's been a long time since somebody's actually been here. But we are on our way. A very gentle rotation. Tell me my resources are still good. This is going to be a 46-second burn. So, how much is left in here? Oh my god. Are we in trouble, guys? We might be. Am I just diving into too low of a lunar orbit for this one? I don't know. Too much fuel on too low of an orbit for my ship, too high of an orbit for... Well, I guess in worst case scenario I can use this thing to give it a push before I guess we'll see, but I might have to revert if this has used up more of this fuel than I was supposed to. Mistake made, lesson learned type thing. Don't try to burn into a super low lunar orbit from Kerbal. Something like that. I guess it's more expensive maybe. Come on. Do the rotation. Well, I don't know exactly how much it's going to take to get this ship out of lunar orbit and back to Kerbal, but I have icky feelings about it. All right. Okay, 46 seconds means we need to split it to 20 seconds on either side of the node for best results. This is a low bloody orbit. Okay. All right, we are burning. Let's see. Well, 20 seconds to go. I'm going to have to use almost all the fuel on that thing to pull off the docking or the orbital push. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just a little more. There. Stop. Stop. Okay. 12, 15. You know what? Okay, fine. Good enough. Guys, wish me luck. The 5 Moon Orbit 1. Moonshot 1, Orbit 1. Okay. All right. Lander online. Transferred. Oh. All right, fine. You refuse to transfer to an unspecified location. Well, why don't you transfer there? Make sure the battery's online. RCS is online. Okay. Decouple node. See how long until we're around the light side? Not long. I think. Yeah, not long at all. We'll do it right starting here. Okay. Decouple node. Back away. SAS, RCS, rotate. To landing trajectory. With very, very small quantities. Activate engine manually because staging is no longer valid. On your mark. Whoa, yeah, minor lack of need for serious maneuvering on this little thing. And let's take her down. That sounded panicked. Oh boy, I don't know if we've picked the most optimal landing area. Well, we've still got our choice of where we actually put down. I'm going to try and land us in the middle of this crater right here. That'll just make it easier for me to maneuver. Okay. Okay, let's burn off some horizontal movement a bit more. Slowly bringing it down. We need to keep it as close to the this line as possible so that redocking with our ship will be easy. This is on the 270 90/90 mark. That is a really rugged looking... Oh, what do we have? Crew report. Okay. I guess we've never... Cool. Alright, we'll keep that for the future. Alright, we're slowing down a whole bunch now. Let's just hope I don't regret trying to land in the middle of the far side crater. A bit of an odd choice, but... Well, we're hardly using any of our monopropellant at this point. No thrust vectoring on this thing, but that's okay. Let's see, we're going to put down somewhere comparatively flat from the looks of it. We are only 10 clicks off the planet. Keep rotating ourselves downwards towards horizontal here. Trying to bleed off as much of our horizontal motion as possible so that the landing is clean, because I've had a lot of trouble with that in the past, as you all may remember. Whoop, 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 whoop. Careful, careful. Got to stay on this side of the retro marker or it won't do what I want it to do. Yeah, Bob and Jeb do not look... Well, Bob doesn't look too happy. Jeb's fine. Jeb's always fine. Okay. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. 150 and counting. 600 meters. Sorry, I might need to slow down a little faster here because we're actually going uphill right now. In fact, let's get our gear out because I don't know exactly what to expect from what's coming up here. But we are slowing down quite nicely. Actually, we're doing pretty good. Okay, come on. Get her right on the middle. Right on the middle. Come on, right on top of it. There we are. Okay. Let's just let it fall straight down for a minute because we've got the time. 1.9 meters, looking good. I sure hope that's flat land down there. You see any shadows yet? I don't see our shadow yet. That is some really rough looking terrain though. Okay, slow us down. Less than a kilometer, coming down to our last kilometer. Okay, slow her down. Slow her down a lot. Because those last 100 meters are going to disappear fast. (20) 17, 16, there's our shadow. It's always nice to have that point of reference, you know. 13. Definitely want to hit under 10 meters per second here. Come on. Bingo! We are down. Crew report. Keep the data. Extend the ladder. Jebediah Kerman. First Kerbal on the moon. Whoa, whoa, what? Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, phew. Okay, scientist it is. One small step for Kerbal. One giant leap for Kerbal kind. EVA report. Surface sample. And, most importantly, plant a flag. We come in peace for Kerbal kind. Munshot 1. We made it. Okay. We made it. Done and done. Alt F5. Munshot 1 on the Mun. Awesome. So there's half the battle done. What the heck is that noise? Oh, never mind. That's the sound of the Kerbal breathing. Interesting and mildly annoying. I don't think we can get to any other biomes on this trip. There's Munshot 1 on its rotation. Alright, let's get back on board. As much as I would love to... Whoa! That's a jump, big guy. You might look angry most of the time, but boy, when you're jumping on the moon, you're a pretty happy guy. Alright, let's get back on the ship. And... okay. Limited life support is limited, 18,000 and counting. Set his target. So it's going to come... let me see. Trying to remember where we were coming from. I think we have to go... We're going to have to rotate to 90 degrees for the launch, I believe. But we're going to find that out in the next episode. Wish me luck. I'll see you next time.